My baptismal name is Darnell, Lynch, all rights reserved without prejudice. And some may say, how he got the nerve to say baptismal name? He's doing all this cursing and fussing and argument on these audio recording videos and or et cetera. I am Prince Darnell Lynch. Equality and fairness by contract is paramount, mandatory by law. Amen. Today's date and time is 11:12 p.m., March the 12th, 2015. Now, I'm not going to say too much because I already done said it all and some and made myself look like a fool and or et cetera if it applies. Now, I'm going to have to audio record the January 20th City Council meeting like I did the interview show with Crystal Crittenton, the sit-in host, interviewing Chief Judge of the 36th District Court, Kenneth King. Now, all I'm going to say, what you're going to hear, all this honoring organizations and or et cetera that put money into the city, governmental agencies, send a donation to the labor relations, UCLA, civil liberties, labor, what's it called there? I'm going to keep it short. So you're going to hear city council talking about people in there making complaints about city workers not getting benefits for their loved ones, their wives, husbands, and the people that's not related or work in the city not getting benefits, whatever they're talking about. They say, oh, we're going to look into this. We're going to do our due diligence to find out what's going on with this corruption. Governmental agencies doing pre-functionary investigations, superficial investigations just to say they did something, not in the 90 days guidelines, not returning phone call back within 3 days after you send email, leave a phone message of a complaint. So it's like this, how you going to say, based upon my actions, behaviors of getting some kind of remedy, redress, recourse on my own, because I took the steps to do it instead of doing something illegal. And then when I do something illegal because I have merit, if it applies, the governmental agencies, justice departments, whichever they may be, will be coming, arresting me with their lights and sirens, guns drawn, handcuffs. You're under arrest for such and such. Well, damn, didn't I give you all this information about within 5+ years and nothing was done? Now you want to come arrest me? Are you stupid or something? And their own documentation of my wrong is the guilt of their non-compliance as my employee, as I am the boss, and other citizens that pay taxes are the boss, and even they the bosses of themselves because they pay taxes in the city as well, if it applies. So therefore, they are the bosses, just like I am, but you are in governmental agency status to make sure the Constitution is upheld and procedures and protocols are done properly. Now, that's all I'm going to say. Listen to this BS, double talk, and or et cetera. Treason at its best, but it's known as legal corruption because of the loopholes in the legalese of government sideshow law department implementing this legal corruption and saying treason is constitutional and or et cetera. I can't explain it no more. My vocabulary is limited. Let us go into this audio recording. Let me hit pause. Pause off. 11:23 p.m. Thursday, March the 12th, 2015. City Council meeting, January 20th, 2015. You will find So now, I'm at time marker 4100 on the January 20 City Council meeting. Now, you heard all those complaints, and they say we're going to refer to this, we're going to refer to that, we're going to look into it, we're going to do our due diligence. So now they have me looking like they are successful in making people look like they just made a fool of themselves by complaining, which they do not have to do, because all the procedures and protocols was done properly and constitutionally with constitutional restrictions, limitations, which is their daily tasks of obligations, duties to their full legal capacity with honorable jurist behavior. None of this be going on. We have been successfully brainwashed, has been successfully dysfunctionally programmed. And my own family won't back me up. I've been hearing this. They laughing at me while I'm sitting here recording this. A fraudulent police report was made. $6,000 worth of gun and ammo was took, and I haven't been reimbursed. They do not plan to reimburse because if they reimburse me, they have committed guilt, admitted to guilt, and therefore I could take them to court for civil and criminal. $900 billion is what I expect, what I ask for, and what I demand. And if you don't have the money, give me city-owned property, or give me a quarterly check for eternity, and my heirs will receive it as well. Until this planet is destroyed, I will get quarterly dollars from the executive branch of government based upon the non-compliance, intentional deliberate corruption, legal corruption of governmental tax-paid servants, citizens, private public businesses, governmental agencies, and or et cetera, if it applies. Now, you heard all the things they're going to do, but when it came to me, they made me like a fool because I took the initiative and took care of myself, looked out for myself, and did this and that because I know I was being railroaded and set up. Now, that's all I'm going to say about this. The bottom line is a fraudulent police report was created based upon alleged honorable words, which I have destroyed and said it was fraudulent, and I was railroaded through the judicial system. So now the judicial system is in trouble because they believe a fraudulent police report with alleged honorable words written in it in statements. So you tell me who's the fool. City Council committed treason. And all the dysfunctionally programmed citizens believe that what she said to me. They supposed to do their job because it was fraudulent, unconstitutional actions done by the governmental agencies. And City Council, this ain't my first time going to City Council about this issue. They sitting up there like they don't know nothing. What Mr. Spivey said, he should even say, I believe somebody had gave them the gag order to not to say nothing, but Mr. Spivey was so full of it, he decided to speak, and I just blew his mouth out, which I already put that information on my Facebook page, and I'm gonna put it on the Tumblr account. And if it's not on the Tumblr account, I'm gonna put it on there now, along with this City Council order recording. And I'm out. Now I'm gonna continue playing the audio recording. Today's date and time is 11:59 p.m. March the 12th, 2015. Now let me start back up the audio recording.
Hi, Darnell, Lynch. I know that you can come to the table. You can come to the mic. I know you have asked to have comments before the body or refer to the committee. The committee chair asked that you could come before the entire body. And so we brought you before the entire body. I will give you 4 minutes for your comments.
Well, I have a complaint rather than a comment about how was my human rights and my citizenship. I was just violated by the 6th precinct and any other governmental agency that I made complaints to, from the White House down to the police chief commissioner, from police commissioner, chief of police, and et cetera, about making a fraudulent police report, sending me to DMC, receiving hospital mental ward and said I was mental and put me in the mental facility. I have a oath of Hippocrates violation against my person. Took $6,000 worth of guns and ammo. Haven't been reimbursed. There was no grounds for me. I wasn't charged with anything. And while I was at the mental facility, I did not go to court within the 3-day period to address the issue of these people at the mental facility that lives in my neighborhood and on my block that set this all up. So basically, when I went to get my police report and I emailed every city council member the information about the situation, the incident was in July 8, 2009, and here I am finally addressing the issue. And if anybody want to say statute of limitation applies, if everything was done correctly, I don't see why that's even an issue, statute of limitation. And when I went down to the police records department to get the police report, they wouldn't give it to me, and that was strange. And now I know why, because everything in it is false. It's not true. What the officer created, a legal document that went through the court system, which is fraudulent. And I requested the officers, all 4 officers, take a polygraph test, and no one addressed the issue or even commented or saying if the polygraph procedures that's in the police department handbook applies to my issue. So that's basically it. And this whole issue will open up a whole other can of worms about other things. But right now, I'm just addressing how the police officers in the law department laughed at me and we need to do an investigation, and I don't have no money to attorney or, hire an attorney, anything. And so I'm just tired of talking about the issue. It's for over 5 years. I'm just tired of saying the same thing over and over, like the Holy Bible.
You said you referred it to the Board of Police Commissioners, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
The Board of Police Commissioners are the one who does the investigation on when a claim is taking place. So you referred it to the Board of Police Commissioners. Board of Police Commissioners told you that there was nothing they could do?
Yes, and our internal affairs, even state rep, John Conyers, the governor's office, Graham Hall, when she was in office, I would talk to him. With my limited knowledge, almost every governmental official, agency, human rights department, I don't think they even in the city no more. Ethics department, pro bono attorneys. I don't get everything with my limited knowledge to rectify this. And bottom line, there was no crime committed. The police report is false. The police wanted to take a polygraph test. They wanted to let me take a polygraph test. Now, a polygraph test costs money, which I don't have to do.
You said it would have been referred to the law department.
I talked to every governmental agency, personnel, and every governmental official in the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, Wayne County, state of Michigan, federal government. I don't talk to everybody on this phone with my limited lack of knowledge, with my, who I can think of to call about the issue. Email them, I have mailing receipts and everything to prove whatever I have to say.
So it seems as though you refer it to every department that we would refer it to, because that's what we would do. We will refer it to the Board of Police Commissioners for the law department to get a report on it. It seems as though you've done that. And so I have that exhausted, because that's exactly what we would have done with them, to refer it to those departments, and you've already referred it to those departments, and they basically told you what they could do if there was anything they could do.
So city council and everybody saying there's nothing they can do about governmental city of Detroit employees, agencies, non-compliance, investigating or rights being violated of the citizens, which is the fact that favors pays all the city paychecks.
What I'm saying to you,
I'm saying what you're saying, but you're saying I cannot get no remedy recourse redress of a human rights violation, citizenship violation of government officials because the certain sexual base participates in their full legal capacity with honorable generous behavior.
The only thing I can tell you to do is there's a human rights and ethics department. You might want to.
I already talked to them. They never responded. So when I'm saying all these government officials that you have direct direct obligations to make sure that things are being done properly. You cannot do anything.
Let me ask you, what is it that you would like to do?
Have an investigation. It's like this. Property was taken. I was sent to a facility with no legal merit. A fraudulent police report was created. Police officer dislocated my shoulder with no merit. Nothing was investigated.
I heard everything you said, but what I'm saying to you is every department that we will refer it to, because that's what we don't do investigation. We will refer it to a department to do the investigation. Oh, yeah. Every department that we will refer it to.
I have all
already been referred to. Hold on for a moment. Number 5.
Thank you for allowing us to have this time. It's actually preparation. But there's an issue request for the coming for council. That's why we're here at the table now. Thank you for doing that. I think Mr. Lynch, since your initial complaint, we had a meeting private call to the Inspector General's office. I'm not sure if you've gone there yet. You're in the Cadillac Tower, and the Inspector General, Mr. James Heath, Attorney James Heath, if you want to go there, they can handle an internal investigation that they help you go forward. I'll talk to them as soon as his office was in, you know, when that consent agreement came, I talked to him already. No response, no. All right. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. So the comments have been closed.
So now the date and time is 10:06 a.m. 12:06 a.m. March the 13th, 2015. Wait a minute, I must have said something wrong earlier. So at this point in time, you hear the treasonous words coming out of a alleged honorable body, which everyone under the sun in the city of Detroit has been successfully programmed to say the speech, "We are rising from the ashes," which is the city of Detroit, seal. The design of the city seal was adopted March 26, 1827. It commemorates the fire of June 11, 1805. And that motto of the seal of the city of Detroit say, "We hope for better things, and it shall rise again from the ashes." That motto is old and needed to be revived. But we hope for better things. People need to understand what the news media and the powers that be has forced upon us to believe and speak of. There was no situation or no need to say this. This is all corrupt action taking over the city. So now 3 officers watched another officer dislocate my shoulder, and the one officer that was standing there watching was a 6th precinct supervisor. So it was 3 males in the house and 1 female. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And you see the delusional remarks, and some people will stand by what the city council stated in this meeting and in this audio recording. I'm so tired. And you have preachers in there. Preachers, not the city council member, but preachers in the audience that brought people there to speak on doing things for the city, the citizens. Now, let me start back up this audio recording because I'm done. I didn't say really what I wanted to say, but I mentioned I made some more detailed information about my shoulder being dislocated. And if they say they can't do nothing, I believe that was Mr. Spivey said, "Well, ain't nothing we can do." He just said some treasonous words, and this ain't the first time they heard this information. They heard it way back then. And this ain't the first time I've been in city council meeting to speak of this issue. But that's my last time. I'm going to go introduce myself to the newest city council member like I did when the new 5 city council members was inducted into city council. I went to introduce myself to them. And I'm going to go introduce myself to the new city council member, too. I'm going to throw her a CD and some paperwork. Now, let's continue with the audio recording.
On the Standing Committee report of the Budget, Finance, and Audit Standing Committee on the city clerk's office, finance department, assessment division.
Councilmember Lopez, for resolution item number 30.
Mr. Castaneda Lopez, this resolution is authorizing the application for two homestead neighborhood enterprise zone certificates for various Energy H approved areas within phase 1 and phase 2, list under 2014-05. Mr. Castaneda Lopez. Move for approval. All those in favor of approving, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing no objection, the resolution will be approved. For the Internal Operations Standing Committee from the Mayor's Office.
Councilmember Spivey, resolution item number 31.
Member Spivey,
Member,
this resolution is authorizing the appointment of John Hill as Chief Financial Officer. If you will move for discussion.
we'll do that. So, Madam President.
Thank you. I see Mr. Hill has just walked in. Mr. Hill, if you can come to the table, please. Mr. Spivey, you want to move it?
Madam President, move the line item 31 for approval.
This is the resolution again authorizing the appointment of John Hill as CFO, Chief Financial Officer. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Hearing none, the resolution is approved. From the Finance Department, Purchasing Division.
Madam President, there are two contracts for local on the Internal Operations Standing Committee. The first is contract number 289-5759, POA funding, provide maintenance, repair, general contractor services. The contractor is W3 Construction Company. Total contract amount $3,290,000. That's for general services. The next contract number 289-5761, 100% POA funding, provide mechanical services. The contractor is Assistant Corporation. Total contract amount is $2,085,000. That's the general services report. The next contract number 289-5761, POA funding, provide electrical services. The contract is Power Line on Technical Services. Total contract amount $705,000. That's the general services. The next contract number 289-7014, POA funding, provide tree removal near chicken lines or not near. Contract is Baymax Tree and Debris LLC. Contract amount $304,521.50 with a 1-year renewal. General services. The next contract number 290-1057. Represent POA funding. Provide tree removal near chicken lines and not near chicken lines. The contract is G3 Inc. Contract amount $4,000 with 1-year renewal. General services. The next contract number 87072 is funding by the Central Assistance to the Chief Line Officer. Contract with Brian Parker. Contract amount $52,500. That's for the unit for Councilman Spivey. This resolution line 32 37.
Member Spivey.
No president can approve on items 32 through 36, technically 37. So move approve for 32 through 36.
We have the move to approve 32 through 36. I do have a question. The contract quality of life funding and the amount that was in the total available funding for the cost center is exceeded by $54,000. Is that incumbent in the quality of life funding, Mr. Willis?
President, what do you think the year from administration next week for color conference? They just take the next month. However, this is not the time that all the color life loans are by money for race. And we individual projects that are funded are in separate conferences. So that was a criticism that we had in our report about the fraudulent loan dollars because different projects are conferences, not in separate corporations. So to be there for the body and what other conferences they might be coming from, but they do not need to come from you for approval to push the money from another conference.
Mr. Booth, can you respond? I understand that was concerned for it now. I really think the and purposes to provide amounts available in the account and the core using the cost. So I think we need that actually provided. So there is a funding in the market. I think before we move forward with this, I'm going to recommend you that copy pass it to council and make sure that the Corley gets that before we move forward. Number 5 is
to each executive similar 16 memo that you're referring to that justifies the amount in the account.
So, Minister Spivey, I'm going to suggest that we move those towards the end of the agenda so that Mr. Corley can have an opportunity to look at them, and we can also have an opportunity to speak.
President, I have to move to approve on everybody 7 minutes.
So if we can move, Mr. Murphy, so line item 32, 3.
236.
I'm sorry.
32 through 36.
336 toward the end of the agenda. I'm going to talk to line number 37. Number 5, line 37, which is a contract is reading to provide a special assistant to the chief land officer. And I don't know what a special assistant to the chief land officer is.
President, this is not your right part of it. Sometimes you can think on districts, many of our affairs. We brought them back to clarify the language. Mr. Short did an email to everyone, the language clarified, and they moved to approve the contract number.
So what is the title?
Chief land officer. Chief land officer. There's an email to everyone.
Title does not exist.
Sure.
Can you come to the table, please?
Madam President, it would be helpful if when we get emails and memos that we read before we come to the table, so that we can save time at the table. I know we have people that come, but this is said last week, and right after our meeting on Wednesday, so we had it. So I'll do it.
Number 5, I understand that, but you also have people who receive these documents at home through the clerk from and when we talk about public dollars, we need to make sure everybody understands what the public dollars are being spent for.
It's still the email. I read on the phone.
I understand that.
So it's almost 1 o'clock. And we are just on line item 37, and Cushingberry and I had it Wednesday. All of our colleagues have email because you've been out Wednesday and Thursday. If we just read, it would be more. I mean, that's not President. It would help us be more efficient. If council members can read, he got it. It's email, we can get it.
And we can read it, but we got the email, but that doesn't mean the person at home has the email. And so I think that it's incumbent that we make sure people understand what the dollars are being spent.
They may understand totally. They just need to right now. If we have questions, ask the question before he comes to the formal session. Even if the short comes down and says, now chief land officer, he's the chief assistant to the deputy land officer. They still cannot know. All we're doing here is clarifying the description of what he did or what he does.
But it's also given a title in the resolution, and the title does not exist. Mr. Short.
Madam President, thank you very much, Honorable Councilman. The President essentially correct that title. I don't know how that's going to be the write-up and why it got listed as was elected in Detroit.
Thank you. That's all I needed you to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
All those in favor of Member Castaneda-Logan? I just had one really quick question, and that was just to clarify that in the document it says that this person will be implementing the redevelopment plan in alignment with the city. Up until this point, the administration has been stated that that is the development plan being followed. So I'm just curious if that's the stance of the administration to the liability of the Detroit Future City Plan.
Councilmember, that was once again the job description in here.
Okay, cool. Well, I just wanted to clarify again, multiple people have asked that question. I think I know I don't have that information, but just so it's okay. All those in favor of approving the resolution signify by saying aye. Are there any opposed? Hearing none, the resolution will be approved.
Did y'all hear that? But they didn't do nothing for me. They just threw me out and said, we can't do nothing for you. There was no verifying. There was no understanding of the wrong that was done on my part or on any governmental agency part. They just took it for word. Didn't do an investigation, didn't look into it, but they have 5 years worth of emails from me. Not the new city council body, but the old city council bill body at least had 5 years of emails. Now I'm out. Now today's time of day is 2:54 a.m., 3/13/2015. The city does giving away the citizens' tax dollar. I've said, listen to all of this, and it's rare. I haven't done that in a long time. I know they are doing nothing with all the experience and all the certificates and or et cetera. They still cannot implement honorable and generous behavior to their full legal capacity, and that's a shame. All those people that wanted the city council position, all the people that was in city council that left, out there protesting and marching with the citizens, and as they sit on city council, any other governmental position, they couldn't implement honorable and generous behavior to their full legal capacity because their colleagues, affiliates, the powers that be, and or et cetera, would not permit it. And they just said, yes, man, I said yay with extreme prejudice, but they didn't know how to get to the citizens because the citizens are successfully, dysfunctionally programmed. And I know the best way to do it, but people are not listening to me. We need to be in the city council meetings. We need to be up there in Lansing. Look at every city, every taxpayer governmental servant need to have a video camera in their office so we can see them sitting on their behind, laughing and giggling, and telling citizens on the phone that we cannot give you legal advice. I do not have jurisdiction. You need to go get an attorney because we cannot assist you. You have to get an attorney that assists governmental agencies, public-private businesses to take the tax dollar from the citizens and give them profitable gains that their heirs will benefit from the taxpaying citizens. It's a racket, it's a game. People don't understand it. They think this money, they create money. They get it from the citizens, us, the U.S. citizens. And people do not understand this. It's unbelievable what people believe and don't believe is just so ignorant of the facts and think that their ideology and way of thinking is what everyone else is supposed to think. You just don't know how many government officials try to make me to believe the hogwash they speak and spoken to me treasonously. And I just like, they don't even know I'm already recording them because they did know they wouldn't be speaking freely and making you consent and submit to their trickery, propaganda, And they know they wrong, but they sit up there, breathe hard and sweat. No, they not doing no good. And like I said, when they come out here with us, when they out of office and when they in office, the march and protest, they have all the governmental agencies powers to do things constitutionally. But they sell out to the mayor so they can have them another term in government or go somewhere else in the private sector once they sell out the citizens. Now, we must understand, it's a word game. And the true banks and the true economy is the taxpayer citizen, dollars. The employment of citizens and the tax dollars of citizens is the true, real economy and bank that the powers that be takes and twists and make us believe that the economy is in turmoil. You need to take cuts and concessions. All we're doing is giving them more money to make profits and make sure that heirs have plenty of money for generations to generations until this planet is destroyed. And trust me, they building some kind of, I'm going to sound crazy. I'm not even going to say it. I ain't going to say it. Because like I said before, everybody's going to be in trouble thinking that somebody is the original person on the planet. You will be very mistaken when you find out the truth. I've seen the beginning and the end. But we can make a difference, a change for the better if we all just unite. Forget everything that you think. Forget everything that you believe. Let's just start with a clean slate. We know right from wrong. And that's all I got to say. I'm out.